They load you up on psych drugs. The biggest complaint in this report was mental health. William Tong has backed away from fighting this. We have the power. We don't think we do, but we really do. I'm Sheila Matthews from AbleChild. I'm a nonprofit, I'm nonpartisan, but I know John, and I know some of the work that John's done for the vaccinated and teachers, and I've just admired his work. And so I have a long history in Connecticut. My organization was founded here, and one of the reasons why I'm so attracted to John's campaign is that he's already making a difference. I mean, he put this panel together, okay? And I went and I got the audit of the DO. I always get that. I have to look at my notes here. But I'm like a facts person. I bring facts to the table, stats. And so there was basically a conditions of confinement report that was released in January 20th of 2026. And basically, it came down to there were 33 deaths in DOC custody in 2024, including 5 suicides and 22 deaths in 2025. And so one of the things I did was I went through the report. I write on the issue of psychiatric drugs and the over-medication of children. So I put together that I was coming here tonight. I sent it to the Gateway Pundit and Steve Bannon, and it went out. And one of the things was the findings of the deaths. And lo and behold, William Tong, who I know very well, many, many years, went to coffees with him, but he settled with the DOC regarding the mishandling of prisoners, where they bring you into, they load you up on psych drugs. The biggest complaint in this report was mental health. And so they were shackling the prisoners and they were dying. And so John announces this panel. I write an article, I put in the audit, I send it to the Gateway Pundit boys, the Hoff brothers, and they print it. It was, their site gets 1 million visitors a day, and 10,000 people saw this. And then the next 3 days later, William Tong has backed away from fighting this. He didn't settle financially, but he said, you know what? We're not going to fight you anymore. We're gonna basically do some reforms. And I truly believe this is because of John and these panels, that he's getting out into the community where the people really have the power. We have the power. We don't think we do, but we really do. So I'm really grateful. I don't endorse candidates, but I could tell you that my journey here in Connecticut I started attending the Behavioral Health Oversight Committee meetings. And I got FOIA numbers of how many children in foster care were on psychiatric drugs. And 0 to 17-year-olds, little babies, they're putting on cocktails of drugs. So I open up in the public forum of this oversight committee, and you would think they would want to know this, and they cut my mic off. And then they kicked me off the panel. Then I wrote some more articles and sent them over to Bannon, and he had me on his show. And so I've been basically banned from discussing how many children are on psychiatric drugs in the state of Connecticut. Now, Deborah Stevenson, I do want to point out here, is the lawyer for homeschoolers. We've been fighting the Department of Children and Family Services forever and a day together, and we go way back. And, you know, here we have children that are products of this system. We have a mother who let her boyfriend chop up her kid. They were missing for a year. I wrote stories about this, and it went out nationally. And I really believe that writing and getting out there in the community with the people really makes a difference, you know? So I now work on mass shootings across the country, and it's pretty horrendous, but what I have found is good people. You know, Jonathan, love this guy, and I just really think that we need an attorney general, like John was saying, is he represents the state agencies, right? And that's fine. But to then defend them and let the behavioral health vendors just run riot across both parties is a crime against humanity at this point. When we have deaths in prison, people that are just waiting for trials, you know, and they get the death penalty. I mean, this is really a human rights violation. So I think that John, without giving him an endorsement, but just as a friend, that I think he can navigate the agency oversight and, like he said, use the office to promote human rights, whether it is in schools, whether it's in prisons, and then protect the agencies from false accusations or, you know, what he needs to do, but protect the people. And I really think that we have a guy here that can navigate this, because I am of the field that there's so much corruption here, that this is a failed state. And I say that, and I'm not ashamed to say that. It's a failed state of Connecticut. It's a one-party system, and there's some corruption here, and I just can't get into that because I'll be hauled off.